Acts 7 1 to 53. So Stephen started his defense, and he was talking about the history and how the people rejected the leaders that God provided to them at first, only to honor them later after the fact, like after 2020 hindsight. He also accuses them of doing the same to Jesus, that Jesus is the Messiah, but they rejected him, and that kind of like implies that he is not anti-God, anti-Moses, anti the temple. He is actually for all of those things, but he's not rejecting God at this moment of his talking. So he wants them to see that they are the one who's rejecting the message of God, just like their ancestors did. He also makes a point about God not being in, like, confined to a space like in the temple. So even though Jesus did say the temple will be destroyed, that he's not the one who's going to destroy the temple, Stephen, but it's just something that Jesus said would happen. But God is not confined to the temple anyways. So but the thing that I didn't understand was how was this related to false testimony. The false testimony idea of the previous chapter. I talked about it, but then afterward I went and I researched it a little bit more, and I wanted to show you that. So this answer was really good to me. Like it says what makes it a false testimony. So the people who were trying to accuse Stephen took Jesus' word out of context. They exaggerated and misrepresent Stephen, saying that he was anti-law, anti-Moses, anti-the temple, and kind of like a rebel kind of like thing. They were assigning motives that he doesn't have. So it's false, even though the temple was destroyed, even though Jesus came to fulfill the law, and then pretty much like no circumcision, kind of like those Sabbath laws and those tradition related laws are passed away. It doesn't mean that those people who are using those words, even though they're true, they were twisting it, and they were giving different intent and meaning to it. So the simple analogy is that the system is being fulfilled and will pass away, which is the truth. That's what was happening. But the person is saying using those same words and saying like Stephen is trying to destroy everything. So that's the idea. So after reading that, it makes a lot more sense, and that Stephen defense, it makes sense too why he would then kind of like go through the history. He went through the history to show them, look, people misunderstood the prophets at first. Don't do the same thing. I'm not against our history. I know our history. I know Moses. I honor Moses, but he was misunderstood. He was rejected, and you're doing the same thing to Jesus. And I think that was powerful. That was a message that I didn't understand before.